On this episode of the Cris David Show, we're going in on Essence Fest. We'll talk about Carnival Cruise's new rules that some people are calling racially biased, Nelly, the trash situation in Philadelphia, more allegations connected to Tyler Perry. I can't. And I'll drop some science. The Cris David Show starts now. Welcome to the Cris David Show. I'm your host, Cris David. Happy birthday to little Kim. Who you loving, who you want to be hugging. No longer wanna looking at his cousin. I guess we're never getting that book. Every time we get a release date, it gets shelved. I mean, maybe Kim's talking about someone who doesn't want to be talked about. Like Angie in the second half of that Pac interview. What'd you do for the 4th? I went to a cookout. We had a good time down there. A bunch of people showed up who weren't invited. I know. You know how that goes. Anytime you have a pool, black folks will impose. But it was a good time overall. Shout out to my cousin Chris and the fam. As I get older, I like being at home when I'm off, especially on Sundays. I decompress, get ready for the week. I know a lot of you go to Big Back Brunch. What are you doing this weekend? I'm heating up. You guys like that. Essence Fest 2025. Every year during July 4th weekend, Essence Fest, a celebration of Black American women, music, food, and culture, convenes in New Orleans. This year's Essence Fest is under fire because attendees and others are saying the festival's focus has shifted away from Black American culture and more toward Pan-African culture with a specific focus on Nigeria. This is a screenshot taken from Essence website. In an article dated September 19, 2024, Essence Ventures and NCAC forged global cultural partnership at Lagos Stakeholder Lunch. This paragraph summarizes Essence plans to expand Essence Fest into the, quote, Essence Festival of Culture, unquote. This part in particular is going to make much more sense as we proceed. Quote, the Essence Festival of Culture, held annually in New Orleans, is the largest festival in America by per-day attendance, attracting over 500,000 attendees daily over the 3-day event. The lunch signals and recognizes Essence global intent and expansion, aiming to build a solid foundation for its global Black community and bridge the gap with Nigeria as a focal country due to its rich talents, history, traditions, entrepreneurship, heritage, and significant percentage of the Black diaspora. Essence Communications Incorporated was founded by 4 Black American men, Edward Lewis, Clarence O. Smith, Cecil Hollingsworth, and Jonathan Blunt in 1968. And Essence magazine's first issue was published in May 1970. Lewis and Smith called the publication, quote, a lifestyle magazine directed at upscale African-American women, unquote. In 2000, Time Incorporated purchased 49% of Essence Communications Incorporated. In 2005, Time made a deal with Essence to purchase the remaining 51%. This deal meant that ownership of the then 34-year-old magazine was now under widespread ownership and no longer the Black American ownership upon which it was founded. As of January 2018, the current owner of Essence Ventures is Richelieu Dennis, a Liberian philanthropist who founded Sundial Brands, Shea Moisture. The CEO of Essence since 2020 is Caroline Wanga, a Kenyan woman. The chief content and creative officer is this woman right here, Moana Lu. She's Martinican. And the COO is this Indian woman from Jersey, Avani Patel. Here's where things get unsavory. The organizers of the festival thought it would be a great idea to have a jollof versus jambalaya battle that no one showed up for, apparently, but that isn't the point. This is what happens when people let viral videos on the internet make decisions for them. You know those videos where people cook their native dish and then other nationalities try it? Now look at the flyer for this. Notice anything? You all know I pay attention to symbols and everything. Let us dissect. The logo is a globe/bowl of rice with the Ghanaian and Nigerian flags on one side and a few Mardi Gras symbols in front of a purple background with a lightning bolt splitting it down the middle. Let's talk about the sponsor, AT&T, who sent out this lovely memo about how to frame conversations about Black culture. They call it guardrails. Seems divisive. Even though the organizers of this event claim they want this event to, quote, bridge the gap, unquote, if they want to bridge gaps, why would they, at a historically Black American event with Black everything, use the example, quote, Black culture is being erased, unquote, unless it was a reality? That part about, quote, inclusion without identity-specific language, unquote, says the quiet part out loud. But bridge the gap. Target was also a sponsor, and we already know the disconnect they have with the Black community at large. The workers were saying they fed them dry sandwiches from Subway. And let me tell you something about people in New Orleans. You better do right by them. Because not only will you have hell to pay, your grandchildren's children will be looking around like, okay. My godmother went to Essence Fest every year since it started. She's from Philly. So for her, that was her annual Maze featuring Frankie Beverly concert away from home. They closed out the festival every year. But these ass clowns at Essence didn't even pay tribute to Frankie Beverly, who, as you know, passed last year in September. I mean, not even a second line. So rest in peace, Frankie Beverly. Cocojones and Lucky Daye had sound issues. These are newer Black artists, and they need to be shown in the best light in order to succeed, especially by a Black publication's Black event. Look at this. Don't film artists on stage like that, Essence. They posted these on their own IG page too. It's the hubris for me. Whoever shot that needs to go back to intro to photography. They didn't even film Coco in that second clip. Look, they filmed the screen. I could see if these were fan videos, but they had staff film these. Coco has a lower register, so she needs a specific type of audio processing. Whosoever Essence hired to do the mix didn't adjust the mix from the way it was for Ari Lennox. Then they put, quote, R&B is alive and well with cocojones, unquote, in the caption. The nerve. Lauryn Hill showed up late. I know, the sky is blue, so is my shirt. Her set didn't start until 2:30 a.m., even though she claimed she was supposed to start at 12:35. And this is how I know who organized this, because 12:35 is late as hell. We ain't staying up that late to watch no damn Lauryn Hill, or anyone for that matter. We get out of the streets at a reasonable hour. Look at her out here looking like a damn duvet from the JCPenney catalog. Wednesday, Essence, Lauryn thanked Essence for clarifying that her lateness wasn't her fault. I mean, that still doesn't absolve her tardy past, nor does it absolve Essence for poor planning overall. This is an open letter from Stephanie Mills to the Essence Fest organizers. Dear Essence Festival organizers, I am writing to share my feedback following my performance at this year's Essence Festival. While I remain grateful for the opportunity to have participated, my overall experience was unfortunately marred by significant production issues that negatively impacted both my performance and the artist's experience as a whole. The challenges I encountered were multifaceted and, in my view, indicative of broader organizational shortcomings. The scheduling and time management was severely lacking, creating a chaotic and stressful environment backstage. This disorganization cascaded onto the stage, impacting the flow of the event and ultimately diminishing the quality of the performances. Beyond the logistical issues, the technical difficulties specifically concerning the sound system proved deeply problematic. These issues were not isolated incidents, but rather persistent problems that severely hampered my ability to deliver my performance to the best of my ability. And I understand I wasn't alone in experiencing these problems. Listen, you guys just heard Lucky Daye and Cocojones. This lack of technical preparedness is unacceptable for an event of Essence Festival's caliber and prestige. These operational deficiencies ultimately detracted not only from the artist's performances, but more importantly, from the audience experience. The energy and excitement were repeatedly disrupted, creating a less than ideal atmosphere for attendees. The overall level of professionalism I witnessed fell far short of the standards I expect from such a highly regarded festival. I believe a comprehensive review of organizational structure and operational management is necessary to ensure that future Essence festivals run smoothly and meet the high standards associated with the brand. I sincerely hope that my feedback will be taken seriously and utilized to address these significant concerns, ensuring a vastly improved experience for both artists and attendees in the years to come. Respectfully, Stephanie Mills, artist. Those people don't value professionalism. They get opportunities off the backs of others. People who operate like that don't get the concepts of time management, punctuality, ensuring that the sound system is flowing, ensuring that the schedule is going correctly, making sure they're not two acts out on stage at the same time, all of those things. They're the type who goes, why should I be on time when my so-and-so hooked me up with this job and they're cool if things don't start on time as long as it gets done. And that's top down too. I love that she said a review of, a comprehensive review of organizational structure and operational management is necessary. And you see, I warned everyone last show about this when we talked about that jollofy ass, rice-a-roni head ass billboard list. That someone said AI slash chat GPT compiled. I don't know. I think AI or chat GPT would have done a better list. But they had her as number 52 on that list, by the way. She's fed up with y'all, and rightfully so. And you know, what if some of these artists had gigs elsewhere? Now they have to change their flights and accommodations, all because someone at Essence really couldn't care less about artists' well-being, decided to do things the way they wanted to. Time is money. Stephanie Mills for president of everything. I mean, she leaned in, stated the facts, and put a little bow on it. Like, that's some real lady from Brooklyn type stuff. Do you guys know who Ann Tripp is? So I feel like Ann Tripp would have done the same thing if this would have happened to her. If you know Ann Tripp, if you know, you know. Ann Tripp is on the radio here in the New York Metro. I hear her like every morning. But she would have done, and you guys, if you know how she reads the news and everything, like, doesn't that sound like a way that Ann Tripp would round you up and put a little bow on you? Exactly. Just put the lasso around your ass. But one thing about people from that era, they are assertive letter writers. She was like, pick a finger. Unfortunately, though, this generation, which is largely who's responsible for that shit show over at Essence, probably said, Auntie, I beg, I'm not reading all of that. Shout out to Che. Hey, Che. Che's from the UK. I met him when I was out in LA. And he told me that something similar almost happened last year at Notting Hill Carnival in London. Their Caribbean community is primarily Jamaican. They have this Notting Hill Carnival every summer, and it's the second largest carnival in the world, only to Brazil's. Somehow, Nigerians tried to take over and lay claim last year, but when the Jamaicans fought back, they claimed some bridging the gap nonsense talking about, well, we all come from Africa, but it just completely ignored the fact that Jamaicans have their own culture. I'm heating up Crown Heights. How would it look if non-West Indian flags were being waved around Eastern Parkway on Labor Day? See? Essence, I really hope you're paying attention to the backlash and you do better. Because if nothing is done to rectify this, prepare for the city of New Orleans, Black musicians and entertainers, and the Black American community to turn their backs on you. Let's have a serious discussion for a moment. I'm gonna lean in. Essence, we are not a monolith, nor are our cultures interchangeable. This is why it's important to gatekeep our cultural traditions, because we can't just have corporations call themselves being inclusive or to just come in and flatten our identities for financial gain and cool points. Imagine you're driving your car and someone you barely know who doesn't even have a license hops in the passenger seat like, hey, friend. and commences to tell you how to drive your car. Then they bring their friends along who don't have licenses, okay, and tell you that because you're all together, that your car is their car, and then they convince you to let them charge you to drive it. Then they're ordering you to pull over so that they can slap on their vanity plates. Now you're late because they think their directions are better than the ones that you used your whole life. And they're gaslighting you and telling you that things aren't so bad when they whole just stole your car. How are you going to throw a bone at someone in their own home? Listen, I'll stop here because I have my own very passionate opinions about Essence Fest and Essence as a whole. Plus, we have more grist for the mill. But we want to know what you think about the pilfering of Essence Fest. Info at thecrisdavidshow.com. Essence isn't paying well either. I met someone when I was out in Cali at this event, this movie premiere, who works for them, and she was literally fighting for her life. Like, tell me H&M is out of your budget without telling me H&M is out of your budget. Shorty was just so affected, thirsty as hell for the next gig. She was frantically giving this chick who worked at damn, I forgot what magazine she worked at, but she worked at another magazine. And she's just like giving her all her info. And she's like, this is my business Instagram. This is my personal Instagram. This is my email. This is my business email. This is my Instagram just for friends and family. Shame on Essence for tossing pennies at Black female journalists. The Jambalaya team, coached by Master P, won the celebrity basketball game. Listen, take the W. Oh. Trigger alert. Sexual assault. Please skip to the next chapter if you aren't interested in this story. You can watch our next story about Carnival Cruises before everyone else. Do you know who this young man is? This is 30-year-old Braxton DeMarco Wells. These black ass names. I'm sorry, I'm done. I apologize. Braxton is a United States Army vet and an actor from the BET series, The Oval. Wells alleges that Tyler Perry Studios' Senior Vice President of Scripted Programming, Mark E. Swinton, groomed and raped him in January of 2022. Braxton claims he was flown from Los Angeles to Georgia under false pretenses for a role, only to be sexually assaulted. After the alleged assault, Swinton sent Wells $6,000 via Apple Pay the following day. On his Instagram, Braxton alleges that he was pressured by an attorney who works with Tyler Perry's attorney to take a settlement, although Braxton claims he didn't know the attorney was in collusion until after his settlement was complete. You're looking at text messages between Braxton and Mark. Braxton's messages are in blue, Mark's are in gray. There are also messages here between him and his attorney. Once again, any messages from Braxton are going to be in blue because these are from his phone. Also, up here on the screen, these are different screenshots from his Instagram page. We're going to take a break to show a video Braxton posted on his Instagram page.
All right. I'm not about to hide anything with you guys. I'm not. And I'm not about to sit here and be afraid and be silenced by people knowingly they did me wrong. I'm calling out Tyler Perry Studios. I'm calling out Mark Swinton. I'm calling out Jeannie Harrison. I'm calling out Michael Robbins. I'm calling out Tyler Perry. And I'm calling out Mark Temple. And I'm calling out Chris Giovanni. I want you guys to know what you guys did to me was very unlawful. And me being a retired vet, U.S. Army vet, going through post-traumatic stress disorder, going through mood, depressions, everything that I've claimed in my testimony, you all covered it up. You all covered up a felony crime of what Mark Swin has done to me. I've asked for help from the California State Bar to complain to Jeannie Harrison because she didn't tell me my California rights as a U.S. Army veteran and a California LA resident. I'm sitting here looking on the news that this kid named Derek Dixon is getting unlimited jurisdiction quit pro as an LA resident, right? His incident happened in 2020 in Georgia in an employment place. He said he had a sexual harassment, and he was groped by Tyler Perry in Georgia as an employment place. But he's an LA resident. All right, y'all tracking what I'm saying? 2022, my incident. I get sexually assaulted and raped, drugged, blacked out. That's a felony crime. And it happened in Georgia as a LA resident. So if you guys don't know the laws in Georgia, this is what they put against me. They said I had a 2 years of a statute of limitation. I got 5 months late. 2 years of statute of limitation. Right? Now let's go back to Derek Dixon. 2020. Same incident, but just a different, he has sexual harassment. That's way before statute of limitation, right? 2 years, right? That's what, 4, 5 years? And he gets a lawsuit with his attorney, Jonathan Delshad. Jonathan Delshad gets him a $260 million lawsuit And it's all over TMZ, it's all over Fox, it's all over every news outlet that you can name, right? Every news outlet. But my civil attorney. Now let's go on a story how all this stuff happened to me ever since I came out with my first video, right? And I'm gonna tell you right now, Mr. TP, I'm not afraid of none of y'all. I'm not afraid of none of your lawyers. I'm not even part of this business, entertainment business anymore. You're gonna get exposed. Me being with Yahweh Elohim, Yahshua the Messiah, I am covered, and I'm about to expose every demon that is literally possessing you right now. I met a guy who's my manager named Cris Giovanni. Now I was, I had an agent out in Atlanta. Her name is Joy Purvis. Everybody knows Jay Purvis, of course. You know, and I told her I was going to go to this guy named Cris Giovanni. And Joy told me, "Oh no, you shouldn't go to him. He's a bad guy. And he's not going to be the right manager for you." So I'll say this: I meet Cris, I get signed. You know, he wanted to have dinner. He wanted to meet up at Momma Shelter in Los Angeles. Momma Shelter is closed right now. It's closed down, but that's where me and him met up at, and we had a conversation. So I told him about my situation. Like, I was just telling him what I went through. And, I went through the whole Tyler Perry situation with Mark Swinton and what he did to me, paying me $6,000 to shut the hell up, to not ruin my career, his career, or anything like that. And, you know, I told him about the situation I went through, me being sexually assaulted and raped. And he told me, he was like, "Oh, yeah, I had the same client that went through that. And all my clients who are on working with Tyler, you know, they're going through a lot of stress, and people are taking advantage of his clients. Even somebody, a female lead right now, I think her name is Melissa, who's on Ruthless, is saying the same thing, that she's ready to leave Tyler Perry too. But that's another side of the story. I'm not even talking about that right now. He was the one that kind of orchestrated everything and told me, "I think you need to report this. I think you need to say something." Because I've been holding on for this for 2 years. I didn't know what to say. I didn't know who to go to. Being an actor, as y'all all know, it's a hard situation to go through. This is your life. This is what you want. This is your career. This is your dream, right? This is all that you want. But then, you know, you got somebody that you trust, your manager, that's going to support you in this. And he's like, I'm gonna help you, but I need you to, when I do tip off this guy, and he's talking about Mark Temple, who's Tyler Perry's attorney. But yeah, but let's keep going. He tips Mark Temple's attorney and told him, "Hey, I have a client that's going through this situation. What you want me to do with this?" So Mark Temple tips off Tyler. As I quote, Tyler was pissed, right? Tyler was pissed. And that's all I hear from, you know, Cris. And Cris was telling me, they're going to have a third party attorney that's going to contact you, and they're going to do, it's going to be normal, and they're going to ask you, "Hey, we've been hired for Tyler Perry Studios to do a employment place investigation." But Tyler's going to know about all the information. He's going to know about what's happening, about all the accusations, right? Okay, so let's get to the nice things here. So Cris tells me, "Hey, just tell them that I try to send you an audition for Straw and this and that, and because I don't want to be having a conflict of interest, because I have clients, they're making about $100,000 each episode. I mean, well, they're making their client his client is making 1 million, but he's making $100,000 on each client, and I'm pretty sure he has, like, he told me it was like three clients that he had on there. But anyway, that's like the moral of the story. But he told me to lie for him. That's red flag number one. He's been working for Tyler for what, since he was 18. I think the guy's like 32 now. I'm not really good at math, but pretty sure that's what, almost 13 years. I'm not really good at math, but that's a very long time. The guy knows the guy very well. So I'm going through the investigation, right, guys? Michael Robbins sends me a message. He has this other paralegal that's typing up all my stuff. Okay, she's listening to everything in my whole testimony. I tell her everything. I tell her everything what happens. I even got the testimony written out and everything. I literally have everything. So I'm over here trying to figure out. Okay, should I get an attorney? I don't know what to do. This just doesn't seem right, right? So I'm trying to figure out how to get an attorney. I let Chris know I want to get an attorney. The dude gets pissed off, talking about you don't need to get an attorney. You're just gonna cause problems and all this and blah blah blah. We can't have this happen. And I'm just like, well, I need to be protected because I don't know what these guys are gonna do. They're gonna manipulate me. These guys are very powerful. They're billionaires. They can do anything. I don't have shit. I ain't got money like them. I don't have shit. I don't got nothing like them. I'm just trying to take down the person who sexually assaulted and raped me. That's the person I'm trying to take down. But here, it gets even much better. While I'm looking for an attorney, I'm looking for entertainment lawyers to try to see who's connected in the business that can really help me out in this situation because I don't have anybody. I have a case, but everybody's not trying to take on my case because it's so political. People don't want to ruin their reputation. And I don't know why people don't. I just feel like it's just so stupid how this entertainment business runs. These people are sitting here like, oh, I'm not trying to mess up my political rep, if I take on the case like this, and then they're just ruining me. Who gives a shit, man? You got a person over here that's been sexually assaulted, and that's a felony crime. Let me say that again. That is a felony crime. Okay? Vulnerable, PTSD, 100% disabled veteran that is going through it. And to be honest with you, I'm federally protected. But I'll get better. I'll continue that story better on to my story when I'm trying to tell you. I'm looking for an entertainment lawyer. There's this guy named Doug Johnson. Doug Johnson, I don't know. I guess he deals with stuff like this with sexual assault. But he's like, this ain't my type of thing. But I think I know a woman that can really do this for you. So he introduced me to this lady named Jeannie Harrison. Jeannie Harrison, I guess she was she repped for the Harvey Weinstein victims. And I don't know what happened in the Harvey Weinstein, and I've seen that he went to jail. He's been indicted and stuff like that. So he introduced me to this lady named Jeannie Harrison. Jeannie Harrison, I guess she was she repped for the Harvey Weinstein victims. And I don't know what happened in the Harvey Weinstein, and I've seen that he went to jail. He's been indicted and stuff like that. But it sounds like it's good on paper, right? She's got everything that you need, right? So let's continue. She takes on my case. I tell her from the beginning of the story. I tell her, listen, I had a lot of attorneys tell me in Georgia because I don't know my rights because I live in Los Angeles. I'm a resident of Los Angeles, but I went over there and traveled in an employment place and came back, right? So you know they're saying the statute of limitation is 2 years. And I told her this straight up. This was statute of limitation for 2 years. And I had several attorneys tell me that in Georgia. So I was like, well, they were telling me you're going to have to get a civil attorney in LA because you're a resident in LA. So I'm going here trying to figure out the situation. I'm telling her she still takes on the case. But she says, hey, I'm about to go on vacation for a whole month and I'll let you know when things are going good. I waited a month. Okay. I waited a month. No words. Nothing. I haven't heard from anyone. I haven't talked to anyone. I only talked to her paralegal. Paralegal's like, just keep sending us some of your doctor stuff and your medical documents. Now, as you know, guys, that's HIPAA Act. Giving out federal documents, what I'm going through in my medical procedures And knowingly, I didn't know they were trying to keep a felony crime hidden. That is a felony crime, and that's federal. But I'll continue. Um, I'm giving all my medical documents to an attorney that is representing me, right? And she doesn't mention any of this stuff to them. Now I know she's gonna tell me, "Oh, I've I said these things, and blah blah blah." But why haven't you tell me my rights in Los Angeles? Why haven't you tell me I had unlimited jurisdiction in Los Angeles? Why you didn't tell me I had quid pro in Los Angeles? Why was this case not seen by a judge, jury, or Derek Dixon's case? Because I wanted criminal and I wanted civil. But she said it was impossible to do any of that because of the statute of limitation in Georgia. Oh, and I totally forgot. The third party attorney, Michael Robbins, who was doing the investigation, she's been doing business with him for over 15 years, and they were working together at the same practice before for 15 years. They worked on the same cases together as a team. Conflict of interest. A vulnerable victim that's been sexually assaulted and raped, mood disorder, PTSD, depression. Going through a lot. Going through a lot. And you took advantage of my medical documents. No Silence Act order in California as a resident. As a VA disability retired soldier, I cannot be silenced doing me having a disability. That's a federal crime. I can't be silenced or coerced or pressured to be into signing in anything without seeing a judge, a jury. And I was never told those rights. That's legal malpractice. I make a police report while I'm in Colombia to the Roswell police in September 25th when I came out with my first video. My first video. Before I even signed the NDA. And the NDA was signed in October 31st. Because I even told her I didn't trust her. I didn't trust what they were doing. They were manipulating. I felt like I was being pressed. Even the third party interviewer, Michael Robbins, didn't even give us a conclusion on the case. He didn't even tell us who was at the wrong or anything. He didn't even give us any information. Tyler Perry knew everything. He kept all that information silent. Everything silent. He didn't let anyone know. But my attorney saying, hey, I got text messages of the lady telling me this. Stay away from the police. Keep your status quo. Delete the post. They can sue you for defamation. But they want you to take it down so they can still pay you. Okay, so let's go back. I got a 2-year statute of limitation, they said. I don't have a case, right? I don't have a case. So if you got a 2-year statute of limitation in civil in Georgia, you have no case. We ain't paying shit. We can fight you in court, right? But they said, no, we still want to pay him. We still want to negotiate. My attorney still didn't tell me my rights. I was still never told my rights. I was manipulated. I was coerced to sign something that I didn't want to sign. They had me in an increment payment. They settled. My attorney has settled with me with $500,000, and she took $201,000 from me and leaving me with $298,000 versus $260 million that Derek Dixon is requesting, and he's doing criminal and civil. And you tell me I wasn't manipulated. I wasn't shut out, silenced. I was pressured to sign that contract. They telling me to delete the post because I was gaining traction. Because they were getting too much attention. They knew the situation I was going through. It was wrong. Tyler Perry signed a contract knowing that he said, I deny every allegation. Him and Mark Swinton. And he kept the person in that very office that did a felony crime and sexual assault and rape. Me having me getting diagnosed, working on getting, like, I was getting diagnosed with Stockholm Syndrome. If you don't know what Stockholm Syndrome is, I would advise you to look that up. I had every medical documents proving that. But my civil attorney ignored it. I'm going to just say this. I don't need no help from no man, no woman, no politician, no lawyer, no law enforcement. I don't need no help. I just need a fair trial. I'll represent my damn self. Yahweh will represent me. I don't need no lawyers. I don't need anyone. Because all I asked was for some help. All I asked for help. But you know what? That's what the devil does. Keeps tearing you down. Feel like you ain't got nobody. But the only person with me is Yahshua the Messiah. And Yahweh Elohim, my Father. Father in heaven. And I'm going to tell you right now. Tyler Perry, Marquis Swinton, Jeannie Harrison, Michael Robbins, Chris Giovanni, everybody that was part of this glorious manipulation. I'm going to get every single last one of you because I know you guys don't want to go to court with me. I dare you to go to court with me. I dare you. You can't even take nothing from me because everything is going to be voided in court. Everything is going to be void. The judge is going to ask you, why was this not being seen by any judge? That's a person that is going through PTSD and having all these medical problems and medical issues, and this was never presented by my attorney. This was legal malpractice. So I want you to give me all the paperwork you want to have me subpoena in court. I will be gladly to present all these evidence to the courtroom and to the judge and show how much of a manipulation that you guys done to a U.S. Army veteran that has served this country, has done everything to do for this country, and you treat me like this. Don't worry. This is just the beginning. And I'm going to get every last one of y'all. Every last one of y'all. You, Mr. TP. You, Mr. Swinton. You, Miss Jeannie Harrison. You, Michael Robbins. And you, Chris Giovanni. Yahweh is watching all of y'all. And then he already know what you guys did. You can't hide from him. But I promise you, I'm gonna get a fair trial. I even talked to Derek Dixon's attorney. He wants me to come and I give him all my evidence. He wants me to come and, you know, come testify in court. You want me to come testify in court? I gave you all my evidence and you couldn't even help me? Oh, I got a lot of workload with Derek. We got to take down Tyler. Well, all right, Mr. Jonathan Belshad. Let's take down Tyler.
On his IG stories, which disappear if you don't save them as highlights, Braxton posted that he thinks Tyler might try to retaliate against him. He said fellow actor Christian Keys is afraid of being blacklisted, which is why he hasn't made any further claims. Then he posted a document that said Tyler owns the rights to anything you share with him and alleges that Tyler takes his male lovers and actors he's interested in to the 20-acre private island he purchased back in 2009, White Bay Cay in the Eastern Bahamas. Braxton also alleges that Mark does the same at his home in Italy. He then went into how he had to fire his agent and accounts questioning him about why he's speaking are allegedly Tyler's friends using burner accounts. Wells accused Perry of protecting Swinton to preserve the studio's reputation. Quote, Tyler Perry, you built your empire on the image of a God-fearing man, yet when darkness crept in through your own executive, you chose silence. You retained a predator in your house and helped cover it up, protecting your brand over a broken human life. That's not faith, that's fraud. Yahweh Elohim sees all. He is not mocked. Unquote. I believe I showed you all the text earlier between him and his attorney, Braxton and his attorney, Jeannie Harrison, who he's accusing, and as well as a studio hired investigator of misconduct related to handling his case. He has requested the NDA that he signed be deemed null and void and intends to sue Swinton for rape, emotional distress, and his former attorney for legal malpractice. Legal experts say that his description of signing an NDA under duress could challenge its enforceability. All I'm going to say is this. This man is a veteran, and he's seen some teams. Judging by the Yahweh Elohim talk, he's on edge. And if you're watching this and you know him, reach out to him and make sure he's okay. A few days ago, he had posted on his Instagram that he's fleeing to a country in South America where he can, quote, be protected, unquote. He also posted that the Roswell, Georgia police have an open, active criminal investigation investigating the actions of Mark E. Swinton. Now, this isn't legal advice. I am not an attorney. But if you or someone you know are ever in a legal situation where the other party wants you to settle, always get your money through pain and suffering. Most jurisdictions don't tax pain and suffering awards. Again, not legal advice. I'm not an attorney. The only bar I passed was the one with the $2 tacos. Where them fans at? Apparently not on Carnival Cruises. Brawls, assaults, drunken fights, boots on the grounds, and fans in hands just might have Carnival Cruise Line saying enough is enough. And some Black passengers are returning the favor, canceling their existing reservations or canceling the cruise line altogether because they deem their new rules are racist. But some argue, are the new policies racist or just restrictive? The discourse began after Carnival, who has the most allegations of serious crimes committed at sea. I don't mean to laugh, but this is crazy. The most allegations of serious crimes committed at sea than any other cruise line sailing from North America, per the FBI, implemented new rules. According to reports, I still can't believe that stat. According to reports, as of June 1st, Carnival passengers received a new letter to reinforce the guidelines and code of conduct. Marijuana, including cannabis and its derivatives, and all other illegal substances are unlawful and strictly prohibited on board, the letter emphasized. Smoking of any kind in undesignated areas such as staterooms and balconies is strictly prohibited. Even if marijuana is legal for recreational or medicinal use in your home state, it remains illegal under U.S. federal law, which is also the weirdest thing to me. Since cruise ships sailing from U.S. ports operate under federal maritime law, all forms of cannabis are prohibited and Carnival has a zero-tolerance policy. If caught, passengers are immediately moved from the ship at the next port with no refund, permanent ban, then turned over to law enforcement and possible fines. Guests 17 years of age and under must be out of public areas by 1 a.m. unless they are being accompanied by an adult from their traveling party, aged 21 years of age or over. They are permitted to be in the public areas after 1 a.m. only if they're involved in Supervised Club O2 or Circle C teen activity, as these youth programs often host late-night events that allow teens to be out late under staff supervision. For safety reasons, public announcements must be heard by all guests and crew. Consequently, guests must use earphones when listening to music or watching movies and shows on personal devices, such as mobile phones, tablets, and laptops in public spaces. All speakers and radios are prohibited and will be confiscated. Passengers can still enjoy those battery-powered fans on board, but as for those non-battery operated fans, leave those at home. Carnival cites, quote, safety reasons, unquote, for the specific ban on handheld fans made popular by Boots on the Ground, Where Them Fans At, Line Dance by 803 Fresh, where dancers loudly clack fans on certain parts of the song. The cruise line says the clacking could cause accidental injuries. You know, I've been on this planet a long time. I've never heard of anyone being injured by a fan. Although Carnival Cruise Line has not officially announced a ban on hip-hop or rap music in their clubs, significant online chatter from some Black passengers say they noticed a reduction or absence of the genre in clubs. Some online discussions suggest that Carnival might be moving towards a more pre-approved song selection for DJs who should reportedly decline passengers' requests. Now, what kind of party is that the DJ isn't going to take requests? Yikes. Big yikes. I mean, for all of that, just like hit the Spotify button and just play some Spotify for the people. The perception comes in the context of Carnival's efforts to address, quote, rowdy crowds, unquote, and disruptive behavior on board. Now, I have this video up here. I know you guys see it. These people ain't hardly listening to no damn hip hop. Look at them. Look at these people. The cruise line has always had a 15 drink limit per 24-hour period for the Cheers alcoholic beverage package. But now there's a perception that alleged enforcement has become stricter. Some Black cruisers feel this targets groups who tend to purchase these packages and enjoy lively celebrations. Carnival has reinforced rules against guests playing their own music loudly in public areas, including by the pools and hallways. While ostensibly for everyone's comfort, many Black passengers feel this rule is selectively enforced against them. They argue that other groups might play different genres of music without facing the same level of scrutiny. That was from the read. Some of these I don't disagree with. There's a time and a place for weed, and the cruise ship ain't it. All it takes is one wrong puff. Not that puff. And you're overboard. I can't dispute the Bluetooth speaker and people playing stuff from their phones and stuff because, you know, that's annoying overall. I'm checking my phone. Wait. I can't dispute the Bluetooth speaker ban and people, you know, playing music and shows loudly in their phones because that's annoying overall. No one wants to hear your music or your show, whatever you got going on. The fans clacking, I can see how that can be annoying, but they're only doing that when and if they play the song, right? I don't know, Carnival. I don't know if the perimenopausal women and the gay men who enjoy the fans are going to like that one. I mean, I think it's time one of the Black billionaires purchased a cruise line. What's Magic Johnson doing? On his yacht in the middle of the Mediterranean? Some of you were saying this video is out of touch based on everything that's going on in the world. Cruises aren't my thing. I don't mess with cruises. I don't like the idea of being on a boat with a bunch of strangers and I can't leave. It's triggering to me on so many levels. I did one of those dinner cruises, you know, the ones that leave from Pier 36 in Manhattan, and everyone got sick on the boat. They wouldn't even open up the upper deck talking about security concerns. What is it with these boat people saying security concerns? If you want to jump off the boat into the East River or the Hudson, that's on you. And you come out with 4 legs and 7 heads. I was glad, but I was glad I didn't eat on that boat though, because I mean, I knew I was getting big back BBQs after, because it was like an early evening thing. Like we were off the boat by 10:30, and BBQ was like right around the corner. But it was hell on that boat. I mean, we sailed around for 3 hours. Everyone is just vomiting in those little paper bags they give you when you're seasick. It was pure hell. But you all flake on trips anyway. I mean, the cruise group chat starts off with 49 people and ends with only 5 of you actually going on the trip. So the Brandy and Monica tour is for real. Are you going? Do you hear? How many of you in the group chat? Tickets are on sale now, and it looks like they'll be ignored. Like at the presidential center right before Thanksgiving. I can't with the sound effects. Listen, Newark has changed. Fine. I'll go to the one at the Barclays. No? What about AC? I'll just go out to LA then. Tired of you telling me where I can't go. Look at Mary. So, okay. Oh, now, okay. Mary has been performing for 35 years straight. I know, clap it up for that. But I think it might be time for her to start doing shows where she sits, or like maybe she does a little two-step. I mean, even Janet, who's been at it longer than Mary, has modified her set list. She's not doing that much dancing anymore. Or, I mean, she could just do like Mariah with like, the 25 male dancers to just distract us. But you know what? Something else is going on with Mary too. And I'm going to be kind, because she's the closest link to Aretha Franklin that we still have left. She's also going through a lot of financial mess, so she might not be able to just not tour like other folks do. And Vegas might be an option. I would go to Vegas to see Mary. And I like to gamble, so it's like the perfect storm. But the crowd wasn't complaining though. We heard their reaction when the beat dropped. And another thing too, this was in the UK. And I'm noticing certain audiences treat artists better than others. Only in the States do you guys go to shows just to troll and heckle.
8 o'clock, 9 o'clock, in the motherfucker. I can't take it.
Steve Earle.
She says goodbye. Hold back your tears, and before you start to cry, say you're feeling unnecessary pain in your heart. It's more than just an ordinary pain in your heart.
I'm getting ready to cry. I'm getting cry.
Don't fool yourself.
Okay, break down.
But tell no one else that it's more than just an ordinary pain in your heart.
Attention Philadelphians, have yourselves the biggest barbecue this weekend, because trash pickup resumes on Monday. The strike went into effect 12:01 a.m. on Tuesday, July 1st, after the union AFSCME District Council 33, which represents around 9,000 workers employed in city services, including sanitation, the water department, 911 dispatch, street maintenance, and at the Philadelphia International Airport. And the city failed to reach an agreement on a new contract. On Wednesday, July 9th, the union and city leaders reached a deal. While Mayor Sherelle Parker is calling the agreement a win, AFSCME union leader Greg Boulware says he isn't happy about it. Trash pickup at the curb was paused during the strike, and city officials shared a map with locations of collection centers where residents could bring their trash during the strike. Trash piled up throughout the city streets since the strike began last Tuesday, and this is the so-called nice neighborhood. Residents were urged to dump their trash at one of the 6 sanitation convenience centers in Philadelphia. I'm glad they came to a resolution, because the issue with that is, how in the hell were people supposed to get to those convenience centers if they didn't drive? I know a lot of people in Philly who don't drive, so I guess them and the elderly folks are just supposed to get on the bus that they can't even remember the name of, because SEPTA changed all the bus names with their trash. That union controls way too much. So it's like, if they go on strike, all of those people could potentially go on strike. Yeah, and shout out to my friend Buddha Wop. I'm not even going to use your real name, because I'm not going to repeat on here what you said about the mayor. But this just dawned on me while I was watching the video, and I'm like, yo, you are so accurate. So accurate. Well, Mayor Parker's got even bigger problems. Trigger warning, gun violence. Skip ahead to the Droppin Science segment and learn about mosquitoes and what colors not to wear before everyone else. This happened in South Philly. I know. 27th and Dickinson. 3 dead, 10 injured. Rest in peace, Zaire Wiley, Jason Reese, and Azir Harris. Azir's father, Troy, was on the news last night. He was talking about how he lost his best friend. And this is Azir right here. He was in a wheelchair from a previous shooting, and he was only 24 and has a 1-year-old little boy who will never know his father. His girlfriend, Siani, lost her cousin Zaire in the shooting as well, and she got shot trying to shield Azir. Zaire and Jason were from West Philly, and Azir was from down north. I'm going to say this. I really don't be mad at me for what I'm about to say, but I'm not going to bite my tongue with this. Philly folks, don't be in everybody's neighborhood. And people watching in other cities, I know you're probably like, well, Philly is Philly. No, it's not. If you're not from certain parts of the city, or you don't live there, don't be there. Don't go there. Philly isn't like New York, where you all go, oh, I'm hanging out in the Bronx, but I'm from Harlem, or I'm going to this party in Brooklyn, but I'm from Queens. No. I know this can happen anywhere, but until Mayor Parker does something similar in Philly to what Mayor Scott did in Baltimore, the streets aren't safe. I need Erica Bridgeford from Baltimore Peace Movement to establish something similar in Philly. Just sage the blocks. Sage those blocks, for real. Mayor Parker needs to figure out, in Philly, needs to figure out all those explosions going on too. Not far from the explosion I told you all about that happened at the bus depot. So this one was a cracked gas pipe, and 3 houses exploded, collapsed, 2 people died. And you see, the issue with Philly is all their houses are close together. When you live right beside people like that, you sharing way too much and you're absorbing each other's problems. But yeah, rest in peace. The mosquitoes are out in full force. But did you know that something as simple as the clothes you have on could stop them from biting you? See, this is why you need this black show. By the way, don't wear black because the mosquitoes love it. Researchers tracked more than 1.3 million mosquito trajectories. Mosquitoes were placed in a chamber with a variety of visual stimuli, such as a colored dot. When there were no odors in the chamber, the mosquitoes ignored the stimuli. However, when CO2 was sprayed into the chamber, they flew toward red, orange, black, and cyan, but ignored green, blue, or purple. This makes sense because I wore green to my cousin's cookout, and where he lives, they got nothing but bugs, and I didn't get bitten. And, you know, today, I'm not going to get bitten. And mosquitoes. All right. Thank you, science. Have you seen Nelly and Ashanti's new show?
I'm a wee bit dramatic.
Are y'all ready to party?
In the beginning, we were still finding where we were going.
We were together off and on for 11 years before the final.
I hated her.
I hated him. I didn't think that we would get back together.
She got me, y'all.
He wanted to get got. KK is my first child, so I'm a little more frantic.
My parenting style, just don't burn down the house.
Wake your ass up, Daddy.
Stop. Your daddy is crazy. It says yeah. We have grown. We're adults.
But we're still trying to have fun.
There's a slot machine calling my name now.
But marriage is hard.
It's black and white ball night, and my wife is not here.
I'm still undecided about the whole Motown Christmas stage.
There was a contract that was signed. I was ready to be sued.
Nelly and I didn't really finalize where we were gonna live.
I've made it very clear how I felt. I'm not living in New York.
This is not gonna work.
God damn, what's that on your finger?
With our lives moving so fast, it's not perfect. But we can work our way through it.
Why they put a do rag
Till
on
death
that
do
baby?
us part.
We belong together.
I have a confession to make. You know, I, the Cris David, tend to put on like I'm high post when it comes to certain television programming. I don't watch this reality show. I don't want to watch that reality show. I don't like anything where they do this with their fingers. But we all grow and we change. And I slipped back into my old ratchet thucky thotty ways and watched this. Now I only watched two because I like Ashanti's mother, Miss Tina, and her shenanigans. Check the sound scan, bitch. Listen, if you know, you know. Listen, look at me here. You all were going in on Nelly, who said he's, quote, got nothing, unquote, for he and Ashanti's son, Kareem Kincaid, who turns 1 next Friday, until he can walk and talk. As bad as it sounds, I can't fault Nelly or anyone else who shows us who they are. He's not the type to change a diaper in the middle of the night or do any of the bonding activities with the baby until he's old enough to walk and talk. And there are women who lack maternal instinct as well. Shout out to my frat brother who's a single father. His ex was pretty much like, take him. I don't want to be a mother. And I see just in general with this, a lot of therapy in the future for all the parties involved. I mean, Nelly is 50 plus, with his original hairline. He's heating up. Ashanti, you're my fave, but the best isn't always saved for last. Anyway, one of our viewers sent us this video from the daddy stroll in Chicago. Look at the dads and their babies.
I'm Mike Kell, and I'm a father to Ocean. Courtney Davis, and I'm the father of Mia Davis.
Big Twan, man. This Myla, this Antoine Jr.
I'm Rendell. I'm with my daughter, Savannah.
I'm Vic, here with V3, Victor III. Excited to be out here at the Daddy Show.
Miles, I'm here with Maddox. This is my son. Ready for the Daddy Show today.
My name is Brendan Hall. I'm with Elijah, and he's 2 years old.
I'm Jabari, father of 2, Amory, and Amara.
My name is AJ Abrams. This is Jackson right here. He's 1 year old, and I got a 3-year-old, Jace, right here.
My name is Kyle, and I'm a father to Nadia, Amira.
Damn, he looked just like his dad.
You did it!
I like stuff like this because those kids will always remember that they did something like this with their dads. Okay, it's official. I want like 3. Give me like 3. All right. Whoever you are out there, don't think that our kids are going to be a come up for you. I don't play that you can't see your kids because you didn't cash at me $50 to get a Labubu. Yeah. Listen, don't make me crash out like Martin. Look at Judge Toler.
I got some questions from women mostly, and they seem to be on a theme. And this is a visual representation of the theme that I'm saying. You ready? This is it. This is where we are. And yes, I look like Adam Sandler, don't I?
You never know what you're going to see on this show. Listen, Stephanie Mills for president, Judge Toler for VP. Then when Stephanie goes, steps down to go on tour, Judge Toler could take over. I mean, people were talking, criticizing her about this, but how do you think you got here? Your mother wasn't always your mother. I mean, listen, my grandmother taught me how to shoot crabs. So, all right, I'm already telling too much. Before we go, congratulations to Queen Latifah. She's one of the 8 honorary members newly inducted into Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated. Ooh, ooh. Look, there's Danielle Brooks, Donna Brazil, who else? Swing Cash, Jackie Joyner-Kersee. I see Uncle Nearest, Lady Fawn Weaver. Now, I don't know Janice Bryant Howroyd or Tony Towns Whitley, but they look very wealthy, so I'm going to do a research. But congratulations to all of you ladies. And DST, you made the right choice. Because look, set it up on the left, y'all, set it up. I am your host, Cris David, and I'm heating up. And this is the Cris David Show. You can always get in touch with me at info@thecrisdavidshow.com. Thanks for listening and watching. Tell your friends, tell your mama, tell your daddy, tell your baby daddy, tell your boyfriend, tell your sister, tell your cat, tell your dog, tell your doctor. Tell everyone that they have power in their dollars and to carefully discern the people, places, and things they support. But support us here at The Cris David Show and follow me on Instagram at Cris David TV and follow our show at The Cris David Show on Instagram and YouTube. You can also visit CrisDavidShow.com. There you'll find everything you need to know about the show. Be kind and be well.